Welcome to another episode of the Talking Shop podcast. I am one of your hosts, Josh from Grand Slam Cards here in Rock Hill, along with Michael at Medium Rare Cards over on the Gram. We're coming to you on Monday. How goes it, Michael? You got the rundown for us? Give them the rundown of the show.
I will. Yeah, we're going to talk a little Halloween, my wife's and my kids' favorite holiday. Me, not so much, but I play along. Got a few things hitting the shelves this week at Grand Slam. I'm going to jump behind the counter, talk a little Dwayne Johnson autograph in a Leaf product. Tacofractors. We're going to catch up a little bit with cards and who's hot and who's not in all the major sports, which is this is one of the few times of the year where every major sport is in play. I think the only time of the year that every major sport is still playing. Maybe have a couple listener questions, card from the vault or hit from the shop. I don't know which one we've got.
This will be a card from the showcase at the shop.
Oh, there we go. And then a crazy stat of the week. But first, Josh, Halloween. What are your thoughts on Halloween? Does your family go all out? And are you a full candy bar fan?
So here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about our family. We have never given out candy at our house for one reason.
It doesn't make it to that day.
No, that's not the reason. The one reason is because for the last 15 years of our marriage, we have had a child to take trick-or-treating that night. So we are never home.
All right.
But we are a Halloween family. This year, my wife and I are going as Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World.
Now I have a thumbnail for the episode.
Yep. So you'll have we're going to probably put those costumes on. Well, we'll put them on tomorrow and show people via social media probably. But yeah, our kids love doing it. They love dressing up. We put a few little limits on it. But we always either have a party to go to rarely, or we just walk around in costume with them as they go trick-or-treating. So it's a good time. We actually went to a haunted house last night. Are you a haunted house man?
I hate, and I don't use that word very often. I hate being scared. Like the whole jump scare thing. I try not to be on my phone when it's like family time, but we've been in this scary movie every day of October sort of thing. And I'll just lay into Instagram or whatever during a scary movie. I hate being scared.
You're probably like my kids. We watched Five Nights at Freddy's that came out the other night on Peacock. It came out in theaters and on Peacock. So we did a little movie night at our house with one of my kids' friends and my kids, and we watched that. And you could tell when they're getting scared, they start to crack jokes. I've been with some people that go through the haunted houses and they're always joking because they're scared, and I do that sometimes too. But I don't mind it. I like going for the scenery and the fun of all of it and seeing the costumes and seeing how they put it all together. But can't say I like being jump scared, but we went to one last night. It was fun.
Yeah. So my family is a big Halloween family. And it's hit or miss whether or not we really lean into the decorations. This year we sort of didn't for several reasons that I won't go into, but typically we'll have a dead body in the yard. We'll have different things to sort of scare kids as they come up for candy. But this year I think we're going to be the family that leaves the bowl of goodies out.
You're brave and stupid.
Yes, both. But what I will do,
or smart,
what I will do is I'm gonna set up like a Facebook Live.
Catch the thieves
right behind the bowl, and we'll see who takes the bowl. And
I'll tune in. I'll tune in and watch.
We'll do that.
I long for the day. I've said this, when my kids we've got about 2 of them that have outgrown trick-or-treating, and we got 3 to go. The other 1 will fall off probably next year, and then we'll be down to 2. And once we're done, I do want to do the whole scare the kids when they come up to the house on Halloween, the fake dummy on the porch or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the trick is you put the fake dummy out there all October.
Right.
And then the night of Halloween, you gotta go jump into that thing. Favorite Halloween candy. I think we did this last year, but I never pay attention to you, so I forgot.
Right. And I can't remember what I even ate yesterday, so I wouldn't remember what yours was. I gotta go good old fashioned Reese's peanut butter cup. But right. my answer last year is probably, it's in my top 1 or 2. Milk duds, and my kids know if they get milk duds, just give them to me.
So the rat poop, you like? Yes. Rat poop
milk that duds. Sticks in your teeth. Yeah. And we would not be a full candy bar sized house, I can assure you of that.
No, I think that the with inflation the way it is, even those families are cutting down to the minis. So well, everybody with Halloween, be safe out there. Have fun. It's going to be a cold one. I think like the high today was like nearly 83. I think the high tomorrow here in our area is going to be 53.
Yeah,
it's going to be
crazy
brisk.
How it just takes a turn on Halloween. Oh, yeah. I was going to show y'all 2 funny pictures, and I didn't save the one. It was like it was a picture of candy, and it was cut open so you could see the inside. And it said, "Be careful out there, parents. This year, people are putting 80s and 90s cards inside Halloween candy."
I saw that. We went to a party, and our party snack that we brought, we took vanilla wafers and put some white frosting in the middle with a little dot of strawberry jelly. And they look like bloody Band-Aids.
Yeah, I saw that I saw that online somewhere.
So, all right, guys. Like I said, be safe out there with Halloween, and let us know in the comments if you're catching this on the replay if anybody's giving out cards. Josh, I remember the first time I met you is when you and your brother still owned the shop, not just you. And I think one of the ideas you guys were kicking around was giving out like Pokemon packs or something for Halloween to try to promote the shop a little bit.
So again, it's hard for me. Like, I just never get to give anything out. I gave out some Pokemon packs, some of those Halloween packs. We gave a bunch of those out to people to give out at their houses on Halloween. Nice. So that's as close as I can get this year. But that year will come where I get to stay at home and torture kids and give out stuff. So,
well, let us know in the comments. Post some of your costumes and let us know what your favorite candies are. And if you do, in fact, get some sports cards in your Halloween bags. Josh, what's hitting shelves at Grand Slam this week?
It's kind of been a theme lately, light release week. There just hasn't been a whole lot coming out. We had, since the last podcast, let's see what came out. We had some fill-in stuff, and then Prism Draft basketball. That's been selling well because Wemby and some of the big boys, I don't know if y'all saw the post online, someone hit a gold number to 10 Wemby insert out of one of the boxes of Prism Draft. And then there was Flux.
And then
basketball.
at the show this weekend, right? Not to cut you off, but at the show this weekend in Spartanburg, somebody pulled the 101 of that card, correct?
Oh, well, I don't know if it was the same insert. A 1 of 1 did get pulled. Yeah, I saw that online, and I posted that a number to 10 had got pulled. Yes. I can't remember now if it was the same card, but I don't think it was.
Jacob, if you can,
Jacob saying it was not the same.
Yeah. One. Okay, so that's not. So, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. What else is hitting the shelves?
And then this is a big day for us here. So November 3rd, the new Pokemon set Paradox Rift launches. We are an early release store. So as of 11 a.m. this morning, we've been selling Paradox Rift Pokemon. So that's a big release. I think Wednesday, about the only thing of note is Bowman Sterling. And so baseball. And then again, for our non-sports fans, for our TCG fans, there's a juicy Yu-Gi-Oh release this week again, which is the 25th anniversary Rarity Collection booster. Those are supposed to be pretty hot. So light week for the sports stuff. Looks like really Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American is this week. We chose not to order that product this year. And then Bowman Sterling baseball. And outside of that, it's TCG until next week.
Jacob, were you able to find Bowman Sterling? I do want to bring that product up. This is not your typical box. If you see this on shelves at your LCS, it's going to be a bigger box. It's like a flat box, and I believe there's 5 packs in each box. And I think it's one of the better looking products out there. I would say that this is probably Bowman's in the Bowman product line. This is like Bowman's version of maybe Topps Pristine. This is and Topps Pristine looks great, and this is the layout. So this is Michael Harris. If you keep scrolling down, I believe this is going to be full of rookies, prospects, and vets. So you're going to get the whole an opportunity to pull off. And look at that one. Stop there.
Man, if you were an Orioles fan, whoo.
My goodness. Henderson, Holiday, and Rutschman. Holy cow, that would be sweet. And we got another sweet multi-auto card to highlight later on in this episode. But this is one of those products that I think does not get a lot of love. I don't know. I don't know if this has long-term hobby value, but if you are a sucker for a great looking card, on card autos,
not a lot of base.
Yeah, not a lot of base at all. This is a great product if you get your hands on it. So
I did forget to tell you that oops, I can show a picture here. This product came out the other day. Let's see if I can show it here. Does it show? Oop. Didn't mean to edit it, but there it is. Topps Chrome Black Star Wars Edition. So that is at the shop today as well.
Love that. I love that product. Love that product.
They did 3 cards. One of them is autographed instead of like your baseball is 5 cards. One of them autographed. So, but it's like right around $100. It's not cheap. You get baseball stuff. It's I think $2 or $2.50, something like that for a box. So cheap, fun Star Wars rip.
Okay, Josh, let's jump behind the counter and talk a little Dwayne Johnson Leaf. I was talking with Jacob in the pregame. This is a bit of a coup in the hobby. Couldn't decide how Leaf pulled this off. Apparently, The Rock never signs anything. And for him to sign as Dwayne Johnson is even a bigger deal.
Really? Yeah, I saw that. I saw this. That's pretty sweet.
That is a sweet card.
I've said the only autographs of his I've seen even floating around at the shows, it's always The Rock.
Right.
Which I always thought was a little odd, but
yeah, and I'm thinking, how does and Jacob had a great line. He was saying that this is not a Leaf poo. This smacks of something that like Brian Gray pulled off right before he left or something. Like this is that spectacular. And Jacob, if you want to throw up the other card, the multi auto card, look at this one.
That's the Mount Rushmore right there. Yeah, you could argue.
My goodness. So good on Leaf bringing the heat with this wrestling product. Is this something that you think you're going to be able to get your hands on in the shop, Josh?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, we've gotten some wrestling in the past, and being that it's Leaf, we do carry a good bit of Leaf products. So, Jacob, maybe there's hope. I'll try to get it for sure. When I see a resale come through, I'll put in for it. You know, people know I'm a big WWE guy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, is the fact that this isn't licensed because of the fact that the names on this auto checklist are so big, it sort of trumps the fact that it's not going to be, it doesn't matter that if it's licensed, right?
Right. I mean, and what do you care if it's licensed or not? You're after these guys as guys. So
also they sign player contracts, so they're technically independent contractors. So unlicensed doesn't mean a thing when it comes to wrestling.
Ah, great point. Thank you, Jacob.
There you go.
Another story that I wanted to touch on was the Tacofractor. Looks like if you were holding the, is it Ketel Marte?
It's
if you were holding this, Cattell Marte.
Watching the game.
If you have this card, then you also are the proud owner of Taco Bell for life.
We were talking about this in the shop. So if you had that card, would you want Taco Bell for life, or would you sell it for like $5,000? Because someone that's like, man, I eat Taco Bell all the time, this would be amazing. Hold on, got him. I mean, that would be something you really have to juggle with. Like, what if you don't live near a Taco Bell? What if you don't like Taco Bell, or you're allergic to it or something like that? Or you're like vegan or something weird where you just aren't going to eat that much Taco Bell. Like for me, I'm going to eat over $15,000 worth of Taco Bell between now and the time I die.
Shut up. No way.
That's what, if I spend $10 a time and I go a few times a week, which I do. I mean, there's one right down the street. Give me a break. What's that? $10 times 3 times a week. Okay, 2. Let's be modest because there's a lot of other fast food around me. 20 a week. What's 15,000 divided by 20? I was starting to think, man, only $15,000 worth. That's not really.
That's an astronomical.
That's 750 weeks divided by 52 weeks in a year. That's 14 years. Let's see. I'm 44, so I would be what? 58? Oh, I'm eating Taco Bell way after 58, I can assure you.
Dude. Number one, I got 2 words for disaster pants. Okay? Taco Bell, disaster pants. Happens all the time.
I thought you were going to say chicken quesadilla. Oh.
I don't know if the street value is that high. Because number one, yes, you may very well eat $15,000 worth of Taco Bell, but that's spread out over 14 years. I mean, you're not going to get a Taco Bell fan to pony up $5,000. I just don't see it.
Well, I would entertain the idea. Here's the other reason why. I have 7 people in my family. When we go to Taco Bell, it's like $60. So all of a sudden, I'm talking about this $20 a week. That's just if I buzz down the street while I'm at the shop and get some. I'm not talking about all the times the kids are like, bring Taco Bell home. I'm buying this thing. I would spend a couple thousand. It does say one sold for $1,000 a couple days ago.
Yeah. But that was before. I think that was before the win, right?
I would love to know what they come with. That must be the one that sold for 1,000.
Yeah.
Unless they're going with that one sold on September 9th.
Yeah. But look at that one. The
That one stings. One before that, $445. Oh,
well,
that's
this
the
is the same
card.
one. Yeah.
So
it probably went unpaid.
It probably went unpaid.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
So now you won that bid on August 11th. That's going to be the fun story. Someone won that bid on August 11th and didn't pay for it. For $445, they could have had Taco Bell for life.
For life.
Good on them for getting screwed out of it, for not buying. Because I don't like people that buy stuff on eBay and don't pay for it. We deal with that. Here's where they learned a lesson. I'm glad that happened to that person.
Well, I saw an interesting question. What are the other Tacofractors worth now?
I'm telling you,
they're still out of 5. They're still out of 5, right? They're still super rare. There's always going to be a story around that.
It is Marte, though.
It is, but I'm talking about other ones. Like there had to be a Corbin Carroll.
You had to think your odds were probably pretty good if you had the Corbin Carroll one too.
Yeah. And Jacob just dropped it in our chat. It's, it's now it's part of the rainbow. If you're trying to complete the rainbow, but very, very interesting. I do want to touch on the 3 major sports going on now. The NFL had a couple weird games yesterday.
It did have some weird games.
The Broncos beating the Chiefs. I couldn't believe it.
Is that 2 wins in a row for Russell?
It's 2 wins. One more.
I heard
it's a trend.
I heard that he's got like his QBR is in like the top 3, 10. Top 5. I mean, it's good. He's not playing
poorly. But I'm still this. Yeah, I'm still this from an analyst that I heard. He's not playing bad football. He's playing good football. He's just not playing winning football, whatever that means.
That means the rest of his team is not playing well. I don't know if our listeners have heard Kirk Cousins torn Achilles. Kirk Cousins has never been a big, gotten a lot of hobby love anyway, and we're a Talking Shop podcast, so I don't know if that's really huge news, but I saw that today. I didn't realize that.
And then Will Levis throwing 4 touchdowns in his debut.
That's going to affect the hobby a little more than Kirk Cousins going down for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we said before the season, he was one of the guys that sort of passes the eyeball test, right? He looks like an NFL quarterback. He's super marketable. And then he has this performance. Let's see if he could follow it up.
I mean, if he looks good in his second game and throws 3 touchdowns and they win, all of a sudden the hype gets heavy.
I mean, other than Tua and Purdy until recently, a lot of these quarterbacks, pretty flat or maybe even declining as far as their values are going. So it's nice to see these bright spots.
It lends to the greatness of the GOAT, how hard it is to be good for so long.
Here we go. All right. Have you watched any of the World Series?
I have watched most of it.
Thoughts on that? I feel like it's gonna go. I feel like it's gonna go 7. I feel like that evenly matched teams.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it doesn't go 7. I watched that. I tuned into the first game in like the 8th inning, and I said, "Oh, Diamondbacks are gonna sneak this one out." And then what happened in the 9th happened, and I made it to the top of the 11th, and I was like, "I'm flipping over to SmackDown. This isn't going to go well for the Diamondbacks because I'm pulling for them." And sure enough, it didn't go well. But, man, they came out firing the next game, and I think you're right. It's going to be a back and forth.
Did you see David Ortiz's take on the pitch that Corey Seager got?
All right. They still don't get it. I still don't get it.
What did you get, Pappi?
You pitch tough to Tavares, and then you give a cookie to the cookie monster. Come on, man. Kevin, you know what happened when you give a cookie to the cookie monster?
What happens?
Just, hey. There's been some drinking backstage. I don't tell you that.
Not yet.
Something
That's like
happened.
watching
More than
Shaq and
coffee.
Barkley on
Pappi, you give cookie to the
Those guys
cookie
are hilarious
monster.
together.
You know.
I saw the original clip. This has sort of been chopped up, but I watched that clip over and over again. All time take on that. I saw it on the replay. If you haven't had a chance to see the pitch that Corey Seager hit, it was on a silver platter. I mean, you can't throw a guy like that.
It was first pitch. A lot of the times those guys just first pitch, give a cookie right to them because they're going to watch it and get a feel for the at-bat. I'm surprised more people don't swing first pitch. That had to be the only reason why.
I mean, if you guys have a chance, find the original clip of that. He's got A-Rod and Jeter next to him on the set, and they can't. They're barely holding it together when Ortiz is giving his take on that pitch. It's fantastic. So I love the fact that it looks like it's going to go 7. Our little dream scenario of Corbin Carroll possibly winning a ring and then coming away with MVP is still alive. His bat's starting to come alive. So that would be fantastic for the hobby.
I mean, he's the guy that singles or beats out a ground ball, steals second, someone bunts him over, or he scores on a base hit, and they manufacture runs with him. And before you know it, he's responsible for 2 or 3 of their 4 runs. And they, like the game that got him to the World Series. So I said, if the Diamondbacks win, you got to think he's probably going to be MVP, but all it takes is one of these other role players to just go on a little tear and get it.
Yeah. And who's the guy for the Rangers?
Garcia. Adolis Garcia.
Yeah. Adolis Garcia.
He's
out of nowhere, right? I'm looking in my closet. I'm like, do I have any 2019 tops sitting up there? And there's a guy named Adolis Garcia that's probably not even in a penny sleeve. I mean, he's come out of nowhere. So,
yep.
Sleeve those rookies, guys.
Putting his name on the map.
And then, have you gotten to see any of the NBA early season stuff, especially Victor Wembanyama?
Yes. So the only thing I didn't tune into much of was last night's. I heard just vaguely through the background of ESPN, did Wemby have a kind of a tough third game? Or did he play yet?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have tough games because there's just some really big, strong dudes. I mean, look, I've seen some different angles of this guy, and they've all been stills. He looks like a pterodactyl. Sorry. He looks otherworldly, like crazy. The wingspan on this kid, and the fact he's got a nice stroke from the outside too. I mean, he looks like he can shoot it up if he needed to. It's always going to come down to whether or not he's going to be durable. But it's been fun seeing how the world has reacted to.
Yeah, I mean, in his first 2 games were a good start, and he really carried him in that second game. So we'll see. It's good for the hobby.
Yep. A couple other things in my feed as far as NBA. It looks like Steph Curry has sort of picked up where he left off last year. He's shooting it great. Klay Thompson, those guys are always going to fill it up. Have you heard anything about your guy Luka? And have you seen any sort of movement on his cards at all?
No, not yet. I think it's early. They're the ones that gave the Spurs and Wemby his first loss. So I'm looking here. The Mavs are 2-0, and Luka has been lighting it up. So this headline says, I know he scored a bunch in the first game, and he was the reason they beat the Spurs.
Right.
But it looks like second game he put up 49 points, which goes back to my original rookie season prediction that he'll end being the all-time leading scorer if LeBron would ever stop playing. He just puts up 30 consistently and then pops 50 and 60 every now and again. And he started so young. That's where my original prediction came from. But LeBron just keeps playing. It's going to be harder and harder to catch him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm calling it now. We really didn't do an NBA preview episode. So I'm calling it now. It's going to be Suns, Celtics, and one of these days I'm going to be right. Jason Tatum's going to get his first.
You're going
I've
to
been saying this for 2 years
so
now.
nice.
Jason Tatum's going to get his first NBA title. Suns, Celtics. Celtics win in 7. Calling it now. October 30th, 2023.
You're going to have to go back searching for this episode to brag if you come out right there.
Yeah. How about you? Who do you think? I just don't watch enough basketball. That's why I'm just sort of taking these are complete flyers, hot takes for me. Roast me in the comments. It's like I've never opened a box of cards before.
Take 10 minutes and do some research, Michael. I mean, I'm going to take the easy out. You know, the Bucks. They just with Lillard, they're going to be tough to beat. The Mavs. That's my wish. And then the Warriors, man, if they just can hit on all cylinders, but way too early to tell. But I'm going to enjoy keeping tabs on it.
How much basketball do you watch? Do you watch a lot of basketball, or do you catch things on the highlight?
I catch things on the highlights, and I sit down, when I get some free time in the evening and pull up my Score app and just tune in to all the games. I'll click on it and look at the stats. So I'm really like all day yesterday when I'm not at the house, I'm clicking on the scores and I'm going to the stats and seeing what their stat lines look like. And I do that a lot with the basketball stuff. Just look, oh, the Hornets won. Let's see what the reason was. And I'll go to the stat line and see, LaMelo had a triple double or one of the guys put up 40 points or something. So,
yeah. Well, if you guys are catching this, let us know who you guys are picking to win the NBA title, who you guys coming out of the East, who you guys have coming out of the West. And if there's a player that you want to start collecting, who that player is. For me, I like the Oklahoma team, the Thunder. They seem like Chet Holmgren looks like he's fully recovered from his injury. You've got SGA there, Josh Giddey. It looks like they're going to be fun to watch. And I don't know. I think I might take some chances on some of those players' cards. I know that SGA has been established. He's sort of been a hobby darling off and on, so I haven't looked at his pricing. But, Josh Giddey was hot there for a little bit. But basketball is so down that sort of dipping your toe in the water now probably wouldn't be that expensive. It's probably not that big of a risk. Yeah, it may slide a little bit more, but my goodness, people still love their basketball.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And when football and baseball end, baseball ends and we got two sports, and then football will end before basketball. So get a little love that way, right?
Absolutely. Okay, Josh, moving on to hits from the showcase this week. What you got for us?
Hits from the shop. So I don't have this is not hits from the shop. This is more card from the vault. We've kind of bounced back and forth on that. So I grabbed this card. We picked this up at the National. It's a juicy card that with the some of the NBA talk we were just doing, I thought would be a fun one to drool over for a minute. Check it out. We're going flawless.
I was there when the shop picked that up. I remember that deal going down.
See if I can. There we go. Make it easy to see.
So if you guys are catching, if you guys are catching this on the podcast and can't see it, this is a unbelievable Luka Doncic card. Josh, tell them about it.
So this is out of 21-22, so it's not rookie. Otherwise, this would be big time. But it's a number to 5. Flawless finishes on card. Luka Doncic auto. I think it's roughly $3,000. I haven't looked it up recently, but it ain't cheap. But with the NBA season kicking off, the Mavs 2-0, Luka scoring 49, I thought this would be a fun card to show off.
That's his like classic step back.
And there's and there's that infamous autograph Lulu. A lot of the rookie drama was that his mom, I think, signed a bunch of cards, and so there's that drama. But if you follow us on Instagram or follow the shop on Facebook, you saw that gold number to 10 Wemby that a customer pulled. We'll start doing go back to doing some hits from the shop because I take pictures of stuff that gets hit. I just got to get them all together and do another segment here soon of cards that were pulled from the shop.
Fantastic. Well, before we move on and wrap things up with crazy stat of the week, did want to mention we've nailed down a date for the next card night, and it's a pretty quick turnaround, guys. It's November 11th. Josh, you want to give some details on that?
Yes, it's November 11th. It's over at Woodhaven Baptist Church in the gym where we've been doing it. So we're like 2 weeks out. So this is going to be one we put together a little quick. It was the only Saturday night we could grab in November that wasn't Black Friday weekend. Tables will be the same price. We're going to put out an advertisement here pretty soon. It's going to give you a link to go pre-purchase your table and reserve it. So you can get a 6-foot table or an 8-foot table for $15 or $20. We're going to actually donate the table money to a family in need. Maybe more details later. But we've had a lot of people asking, when's the next trade night? We're ready to do it. It's the only day we could squeeze it in. So you're going to see a bunch of marketing for that here this week.
Fantastic. Well, guys, if you've made it this far, thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment.
Short and sweet this week.
Yeah, short episode this week. Josh, take us out with your crazy stat.
So you all remember back in 2001 when an Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher hit a bird and killed it. If you're heavy on social media, you'll see some people even paying homage to that by dressing up. I saw a couple that one was dressed up as Randy Johnson, the other was dressed up with in a big bird outfit with blood all over it. So makes a great couple's outfit, but Randy Johnson hits the bird with the pitch and kills it. That was in 2001. Well, just the other day, another Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher, this was a little different. It was in warm-ups, but was pitching and hit a bird and killed it. So I saw this post on social media. It said, so you mean to tell me, and this is a Diamondbacks fan talking, so you mean to tell me our ace hit a bird in 2001 and our ace hit a bird in 2023? I guess all the dates of the World Series games in 2001 are the same as the dates this year in 2023. In 2001, the All-Star game was in Seattle. Guess where the All-Star game was at this year, or is at 2023? It's in Seattle. And the last little make you go wow stat is of the World Series back in 2001, George Bush threw the first pitch out. And guess who threw the first pitch out in 2023? George W. Bush. So there you go. Little eerie, little creepy. You know, you've probably heard all those JFK, Abraham Lincoln assassination. Have you heard all those crazy similarities? That has a little bit of a feel to that. So the bird gets hit. The games are on the same day, the same All-Star game, and the same opening pitcher.
And the Diamondbacks won that year, right?
Ooh, I think that's right.
Well, foreshadowing.
Let's find that because this'll just, you can put your money on it, man, at this point.
There you go.
Who won the World Series in 2001? AZ Diamondbacks. Hard to see, but there it is. Arizona Diamondbacks. So there you go. Go put your money on them. It's fate.
Boom. Josh, thank you. Always good spending time with you. Jacob, thank you for producing.
Oh, we've got a break. We still got the turd.
Absolutely.
We got this 3 megabucks break. If you like football, go over to the break page, Grand Slam Breaks, rockhill.com. We're breaking 3 Mosaic Fanatics exclusive megas and a gold standard hobby box. Those are sitting here on standby, ready to go as soon as that break fills.
Grab your spots when you can. Guys, thanks, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Peace.